Well, for the latest on the Oscars, let's bring in Kachi Offiah, who's in Los Angeles. Kachi, let's talk about the big winners of the night.
Yes, let's get in on this conversation. So it has been a very beautiful one to begin with. It's been a very, very emotional and beautiful night. And we're going to begin by talking about some of the big winners. A lot of them here actually for Best Actor, of course. We saw Will Smith take home his Academy Award. Everyone kind of knew that was going to happen, so it's really exciting to see that happen. Best Actress also went to Jessica Chastain, and again, that was another win that a lot of people expected to happen. So there were so many predicted winners. I mean, to be honest though, I have to say no one really saw, I didn't see Coda winning Best Picture. Lots of people expected it to go to Power of the Dog, but Coda did take home Best Picture. Troy Kotsur for Best Supporting Actor, and Jane Campion took home the Best Director Award. So with regards to a lot of the predictions, we, saw lots of the people we expected win, and some of them not the case. Back to you.
All right, let's talk to us about the performances. Who did well, who didn't do well, who flunked. Talk to us about the performances.
Okay, well, with regards to some of the performances that we saw, there were so many of them. Dos Oreguitas by Sebastian Yatra, it was the most emotional performance of the night. I mean, I cried. I shed real tears just watching him belt out that beautiful song. And then We Don't Talk About Bruno was like, We Don't Talk About Bruno with a twist. Oh, by the way, oh my goodness, just stories of Kachi Offiah, but that is Queen Latifah right there. Some of the celebrities are still coming out of, the Dolby Theatre because it's still that time of the year. And she is with Troy Kotsur. He won the Best Supporting Actor for his movie Coda. It's so beautiful to see. Her dress is absolutely stunning. She looks like a complete goddess. Okay, so I'm going to try to I'm trying to focus on my live, but yeah, okay, how do you focus when Queen Latifah is right behind you? Okay, so back to the performances, right? We Don't Talk About Bruno also had Megan Thee Stallion. She rapped a little bridge on the song. It was really beautiful to see. That was one we were not expecting to see at all. So yeah, Beyonce from Compton performed Be Alive. It was in pure Compton Beyonce fashion. Everybody loved it. Lemon green outfits. It was absolutely stunning. Just to mention, some of the beautiful performances that we saw. Back to you, Ferdinand.
And Kachi, there was a performance from Reba McEntire dedicated to the people in Ukraine. You want to tell us about that?
Yes, of course. That was a big conversation for this year as well. I think for the Oscars 2020, two major conversations that people highlighted, not just in their performances, but in their speeches, was the situation in Ukraine and the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida. Now, they were all just trying to show that, listen, we're with them, showing their solidarity in one way or the other. And we know that some of the funds that were generated from that tonight are going to be used to support a lot of the people who have been rendered homeless and helpless in Ukraine. Now, with regard to the Don't Say Gay bill, that is currently being criticized. It's a Florida bill. Jessica Chastain also used her platform when she won Best Actress to highlight the fact that Tammy Faye, who she represented in that movie, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, was a woman who accepted people from all walks of life. So for her to be winning that Oscar, she just had to point out her complete disregard and point out the fact that she supports the LGBTQ community 100%, especially at a time when suicides are at such an increasing rate. Every other month you're hearing of a new person, who has committed suicide. So she just felt like this is a time where everyone really needs to come together because the world is going through so much at the moment. Back to you.
For you, what were the major highlights of this event? And of course, for this particular kind of event, there are always side attractions, and talk to us about the side attractions as well.
Well, there were so many. Let's talk about Will Smith. So Chris Rock, I've said this before, can be very rude. In 2016, unprovoked, during his monologue, Chris Rock pointed out the fact that Jada Pinkett Smith was not in, because at that time everyone was talking about how Oscar is so white, and Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith, decided to boycott the Oscars. And then during Chris Rock's monologue, he goes on to talk about, oh, listen, you weren't even invited, so how can you boycott a show that you were not invited for? that went under the rock, that's passed, no one said anything, everyone moved on. Now fast forward to 2020, in G.I. Jane, Demi Moore played a role where she had to shave her head. Jada Pinkett Smith has spoken about her issues with alopecia, and Chris Rock felt it was okay to make that a joke on stage. Well, Will Smith wasn't having it. He went on stage and he literally struck Chris Rock in the face and made it very clear that Chris Rock needs to keep his wife's name out of his mouth. Now, there's been varying views about that particular incident, with some people saying they completely support Will Smith. You know, he just came off the back of a role where he literally had to protect his family. So it's understandable why he would channel that same energy into protecting his real family, being Jada Pinkett Smith, while some other people just felt like it was completely unprofessional. I mean, Chris Rock reserves the right to sue. He did apologize, though. Will Smith apologized while he was collecting his award for Best Actor. It was a very, very emotional speech. He was in tears, but he just pointed out that he's not crying just because he won the award. He's crying because he feels like he's at a point in his life where he has a calling to do so much more. He has a calling to not just follow the status quo, but change the narrative, especially for a lot of black men. He also pointed out that, listen, with the Oscars, people make a lot of offensive jokes and you're supposed to laugh about it, but that's not right. When people disrespect you, disrespect your family, it's not comedy. You can't just say because you're giving a monologue, you have to be rude. And that's something Chris Rock is known for. So it's yet to be seen how the whole situation would play out subsequently. But Chris Rock was not smiling. This is definitely going to be a good one in terms of the ratings because it was a fantastic show.
Well, Kachi, before we let you go, let's let's take a look at what happened earlier between Chris Rock and Will Smith.
I mean, let's hear what they had to say. Let's just get a taste of what he said, you know, while crying, and then maybe a sound of the punch on Chris Rock.
Oh, wow! Wow! Will Smith.
Now, I know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you. In this business, you got to be able to have people disrespecting you. And you got to smile and you got to pretend like that's okay. Now, I know to do what we do, you got to be able to take abuse. You got to be able to have people talk crazy about you.
Well, I was just wondering if Chris Rock had decided to hit back, it would have turned into a joke, a big one, or a mess. Okay.
Yeah, indeed. Chris Rock really held back there, but lots of questions going through my head, Kachi. Reports are saying that Will Smith may be asked to hand back his Oscar because he broke the Academy's code of conduct. And was that a joke gone too far from Chris Rock?
Okay, so I think in a sense, right, this is a conversation that needed to be had. Oh, by the way, Wesley Snipes just passed. When we're talking about fashion for this year, he's definitely going to be one of the celebrities that a lot of people are going to be talking about because he looks really good. But back to your question, Kenneth, this is a conversation that needed to be had. You know, for the longest time, the monologues are fun because they're disrespectful. In fact, it almost started to look as if they try to find the most disrespectful person to host the show so they can be more disrespectful. And the thing is, you do this at the expense of people and real feelings in a crowd, in a room full of veterans, full of people who work hard to do their art. I mean, acting is not easy. So if they do this, I'm guessing they will definitely be getting a lot of criticism. If you looked at his speech closely, he did point out that he's sorry and that he's hoping that they invite him again. What we might see is maybe a possible suspension, but that he will be asked to return that award. I honestly doubt that they would do that, because if you think about it, this is not the first time. There's a precedent here. It looks like this man keeps coming at Will. Chris Rock did this in 2016. Why is that okay? Why should you go on stage? Why is it okay to, so it would be really odd. I mean, mental health is a conversation that we continue to have, unless the Academy wants to tell us that they don't care about people's mental health. But it's a conversation that we keep having, and it's about time that, they did something about this. So I doubt they'll be asking him to return. I'm so sorry. Celebrities are still coming out, so I try to just look back so I could keep you updated with, whoever's walking the carpet at this time. Yeah. Back to you.
Well, on returning, they will make their decision. Chris Rock there. Joe, thank you so much, Kachi, by the way, for contributing to the program.